what are we trying to say? In this country, you see people come out. That's why in the country right now, if you are having a peaceful strike, like the only people that do this effectively are medical doctors, because when they go on strike, they don't go to work, they don't carry placards, they don't do anything, and they even still run skeletal services. They are still available that in case their chiefs need them and it's an emergency, their chiefs can get them to do one or two things. Those are the only people. Every other person that has done anything, we saw the last one in Abuja where workers were, upset and people were throwing stones at the FCT minister. And it could have gone worse because they had to shoot in tear gas. People were injured. So it is very okay for the federal government to say, look, until we can get to a point where people can sit at home, or like in China, you are on strike, you are driving the buses. You don't collect fare, but you will drive the buses. You are doing an electricity thing. You don't cut people's lights. You will be giving lights free. It means that for that 1 week you are rioting, or the electricity people are on strike, you are going to give out. I mean, on that 1 week that you are demonstrating and you are going on a strike, automatically it means that people are going to get 1 week free electricity. That's what happens in countries like China. It doesn't happen in the US because we have seen, the Ghostbusters that is even going there about the ISIS issue.
This is SOUQ Business Landscape. Now, let's get to the industrial court. Now, they are buying unions and say, hey, you can't protest in Abuja. The National Industrial Court. I'm coming to you on this because you have to talk about the
because I want to talk about electricity.
No, yes. you talk about the court. They are very close to you. The National Industrial Court has barred the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, and Trade Union Congress and their affiliate organizations from staging protests or demonstrations in Abuja over ongoing industrial actions. Now, the ruling delivered by Justice Emmanuel Subinin follows an application filed by the Federal Capital Territory Administration to prevent disruption of public service and ensure order in the capital. The court order temporarily restrains the union from mobilizing members for industrial actions in the city until further notice. The development comes days after widespread strikes of FCTA workers led to closure of government offices and public institutions in Abuja. Now, authorities are saying that the decision aims to balance workers' rights with the need to maintain essential services, while urging both parties to seek dialogue to resolve issues and disputes. But you have already gone ahead to say you can't even mobilize and you can't strike. Swift.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, I think it's a good call. In Nigeria, even all over the world, every time that there's a riot and people are coming out for a good cause.
Strike.
You said riot. I'm sorry. Every time there's a strike, people are coming out for a good cause. Some beautiful, I will not call them unscrupulous elements, find a way to turn it into a riot. And we've seen that happen at every point in time. We saw it happen during the Black Lives Matter in America. If in America people were destroying, we saw it happen in India. We've seen it happen any country that's there's a bit of, somebody is saying, look, this should be this. It's very hard to maintain law and order. And we see it happen in Nigeria at full scale. One of our renowned journalists, Kemi Yilowo, she talked about the fact that she was sexually assaulted during the Ali Moscow strike as a child, that they were driving through the crowd and men pulled her out. And that was one of the reasons why she started having, some issues in life. And I have seen people who during, regular strikes, student strikes have always been assaulted. It is high time.
Strike is not demonstration. They might not go out to demonstration.
Strike, no. In Nigeria, 90% of the time, the way we work in Nigeria, when you want to demonstrate, 90%. You want to protest, 90% of the time. Okay, let's say
present government also went on strike during Occupy Nigeria.
They did a demonstration. You will defend your cause. Let me defend mine.
Okay, go ahead.
So 90% of the time, once people come out to say, this is not happening, people will join. I remember years ago when I was at the University of Benin, and that literally cost me my admission. We came out to protest on Oberasak strike. What was the problem? We wanted an SUG president. The Senate and the school authority felt that the boy was too strong because the boy had said the university bakeries must work. There was an independent person who was a wife of some professor who was now running the student bakery and selling bread to us. So he said, look, the bakeries are going to work. We have people who are studying food and nutrition, home economics. They will be there. They will be working. We can sell bread as cheap as 5 naira. You know, he had good plans for school. And so the university just came out a week to the election and removed his name. We came out to riot. We were
Did you come out to demonstrate or you
we
came
came out to
riot?
demonstrate actually.
Was it that two
We were
different
sorry,
things?
yes. We were in front of our gate demonstrating and shouting obey, obey, obey. In Ring Road Market, which is like moving from here to Aja, people were burning on behalf of students. People were attacking people on behalf of students. So people that were part of that strike, they got rusticated. Some lost 2 years, some lost 4 years. What are we trying to say? In this country, you see people come out. That's why in the country right now, if you are having a peaceful strike, like the only people that do this effectively are medical doctors, because when they go on strike, they don't go to work, they don't carry placards, they don't do anything. And they even still run skeletal services. They are still available that in case their chiefs need them and it's an emergency, their chiefs can get them to do 1 or 2 things. Those are the only people. Every other person that has done anything, we saw the last one in Abuja where workers were, upset and people were throwing stones at the FCT minister. And it could have gone worse because they had to shoot in tear gas. People were injured. So it is very okay for the federal government to say, look, until we can get to a point where people can sit at home, or like in China, you are on strike, you are driving the buses. You don't collect fare, but you will drive the buses. You are doing an electricity thing. You don't cut people's lights. You will be giving lights free. It means that for that 1 week you are rioting, or the electricity people are on strike, you are going to give out. I mean, on that 1 week that you are demonstrating and you are going on a strike, automatically it means that people are going to get 1 week free electricity. That's what happens in countries like China. It doesn't happen in the US because we have seen, the buzz that is even going there about the ISIS issue.
Okay.
So for me, I support the federal government, unfortunately.
Okay, the court.
The court, which is inspired by the government.
Let me come in. When people go on protest, they are not happy.
Good.
A hungry man is an angry man. These people are quote unquote hungry. Why are they hungry? Because they have not been paid. They have not been paid. That is why they are coming out. Nobody wakes up in the morning, comes to work without being paid, and you expect that person to perform optimally. There are responsibilities they need to solve. And if that responsibilities are not met, pressure comes in. So these people are not just, they don't just wake up and say, I want to go and disrupt. I understand I understand the part of the government. Now, Abuja is the nerve center of the country. It's the seat of power. A lot of people come in to do business, both locally and outside. So it's sort of an embarrassment to have people on the street protesting that you have not paid. I mean, a business, an international investor coming into your country, coming to see the president or coming to see someone, and he's hearing that you are not paying the people who are going to even do the job. So I understand what they are saying. I understand that it might affect certain businesses, it might affect movement and all that. And yes, if you look at the trajectory of protest, it gets hijacked if it stays longer, or if it goes longer. The first day, second day, third day, fourth day, it's smooth. But when it gets to the 10th, 11th, yes, that is when unscrupulous elements start to look for ways, and all that. Even the one you talked about in the US, at a point, certain security agents said no, they will not obey Trump's order, because Trump said when the looting starts, the
shooting starts.
And we saw what happened. We saw how horrific aged people were being attacked by security agents. And at a point, certain security agents said, no, we will not do this. We will not do this. It is, do you understand? So that aside, the truth about it is that these people have a worthy cause. Most of the time, if you look at the trajectory of protests in this country, all the time, there's always a court injunction. Protest is your legal right. It is backed by the Constitution. In fact, when you want to protest, the police are supposed to provide protection. According to Femi Falana, he said this and he quoted this. They're supposed to provide
According to law.
According to law.
Not from
he quoted it from the
not
Constitution.
the law.
Yes, he quoted it from the Constitution. He came out to say it, and kudos to him. Protest is actually your fundamental right. There are so many ways you can protest. It's not just by going on the road. You can sit down at home. You can do so many things. In some countries, you shave your hair as a form of protest. I think I've forgotten, it was a particular company I worked for in Nigeria. Expatriates were not being paid, and they all came that day with their heads shaved. And that was how I even knew that that was their own way of protesting. So there are different ways of protesting. Resident doctors are still planning to go on strike. It's too much. What is the problem? Is it that we don't take account of paying salaries to workers when we cook up the budget or when we, do the budget? Or is it that certain people are just sitting on this money and they are not releasing it? It's not fair. A minister will not function well as a minister if he's not paid. A government official will not function well if he's not well paid. Now, if, for instance, you really want to get to these people, you could say, okay, fine. The fact that you have not been paid, I also will not receive salary as a way of solidarity to you. That speaks to the mind of the people. Not by going to court, not by doing so many things. There are so many ways you could meet these people at the junction. You could say, okay, well, for the rest of the year, my salary for this month will be shared across as a token that I will see to it that your salaries are being paid. There are so many ways to do these things. It's just you having the mind. Because these people up there, they came from the people down there. Government officials are elected from the people. So it's just how we can sit down and do this thing. You don't do the stick method before the carrot method. You give them the carrot, then if the carrot doesn't work, then you bring in the stick, not the stick first. It's not good when the government is always resisting demands from the people who elected you in. So protest is not bad. It's just one of the ways that, and it has been overused.
Okay.
It has been overused. I won't lie about it because any little thing now people just want to go and protest. And all that.
So sorry.
We've also seen issues where a lot of politicking and politicizing of issues that can easily be resolved has led to protests that we on this side also know that an agenda is being pushed.
Yes.
And we will not want to dabble into this. And also, courts injunctions don't always mean right, because most times it's he that gets to the court first that gets an injunction.
Yes.
We've
So
seen that in this. Hold on.
Okay.
So we want to appeal to you, dear leaders, elected or civil service. You are not a god of the people. Dear president, dear ministers, you are not a god of the people. We've been given a mandate to serve on behalf of the people. So the earlier you stop seeing yourself as a savior or lord of the people, the better for everybody. We can't have leaders who are well fed and those that you're supposed to direct a course are not being paid. We don't have an excuse for that. And it's not something that we want for this economy that we want to grow into $1 trillion economy. Everybody has to put their hands on deck. Everybody hands has to get dirty and everybody needs to work. Wasting man-hour is not going to help us. Go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to say that, look, because we haven't sat down to analyze what is causing this protest. The federal minister, Wike, has come out to say, and other people have come out to confirm that, look, these people that are protesting have already been paid their general salaries. They are owing them 5 months. They have been paid 2 months in arrears. And the government is saying, we are sitting.
There's no justification.
Hold on, please. Can you hold on? Please, can you hold on? Good. And they are saying, we are sitting on your 3 months to pay. Like you said, there's no justification why. But if you look at the trajectory of protest, when people come out to protest, which I'm going to say again, I went back and I was checking, $2 million was paid in insurance out to people in Black Lives Matters.
Can we talk about the Nigerian issue?
Talk about Nigeria.
Because that's because they have a system that works. In Nigeria, when there's a protest, what happens is when your company is destroyed, your goods are looted, you bear the brunt by yourself. I know people whose businesses closed during NSAS, and some of them have not been able to pick themselves up. A friend's wife's cream company, they went there, they didn't just steal, even the creams they didn't need, they were breaking it on the floor. That tells you that it's a mindset. And so anything protest, especially in the federal capital, the last time that something like that happened, we saw people looting chairs, taking chairs from offices. I know that people are aggrieved, their families are at home. I'm very emotional towards them. But by the time you get paid, because you will get paid, there's no way the federal government is going to owe you. It may just take time. By the time you get paid, when you look back at the destruction, because there are people who are just waiting. That is the mentality, how to join and infiltrate this your beautiful, peaceful protest. Except they say they are going to do what? Because in my parents' generation, during the military coups, because they were not allowed to really move around, they locked offices. They just shut it down. You are at home, the office is shut down. The permanent secretary or whoever is sitting there, one or two top people, and when you try and walk in, they'll say, no, nobody can come in, we are protesting, we have shut down. If that is it, beautiful, but anything carrying placards, going on the street, trying to, no, it's a no for me, please.
Okay. The present government, the present people, administration, at a point came out to protest. Let's not forget.
When they were coming out to protest, it was more put together. I'm coming. I was
Also,
part of the people. Hold on. I moved around during subsidy matter. How many people were attacked during subsidy?
Hello.
How many businesses were destroyed during subsidy in Lagos? Yes, I was there.
Yes, I remember. And I also remember the president that time put soldiers on the street. Even former Governor Fashola had to call the president that please remove soldiers from the street. But the streets are safe. They are just protesting. Let's not forget that also.